In the past, I made videos about the worst and the best arts in Fire Emblem Heroes, but since then, they have obviously continued to add more and more characters, to the point that a few months ago we got our 1000th hero. That's insane! So I'm not gonna lose any more time on this. You know the drill. I'm gonna talk about the Fire Emblem Heroes character arts that personally I think were very good or very lame. The only rule is, these character arts had to release in the year 2023. And remember, this topic is extremely subjective, so if you want to diss me in the comments, then you're very welcome to do so, but only after you finish the video. So, let's get started with the bad ones, shall we?
Kadame Byleth by Azusa. This art is just so bizarre to look at. Azusa's an artist that, whenever they do something extremely good, they have to miss hard at some point. Kadame Byleth is a huge mess. I'm not a fan at all of the outfit, it's so ridiculous. The face is just so weird to look at. It's like the head and the rest of the body belong to different characters. And yeah, I know Byleth is supposed to be stoic, but here he just looks so damn bored. With battle poses that are just as uninspiring and lame. Bonnie Triandra by Kipu. Boring, lazy, uninspiring, and this is one of those arts that you know is trying way too hard to be sexy. It's like the artist looked at Triandra's concept art and said, yes, underwear, that's all I need. And the end result is one of their lamest pieces of art they've ever done. And can we just talk about how the regular portrait and the attack portrait are almost exactly the same? It's like, yeah, go girl, give us nothing! Felix by Clover K. This artist usually does some really good art, I mean, just look at Fallen Nadelgard and Ninja Saizo. But every now and then, their faces are just so bizarre, I don't know how to describe them. And Felix is the embodiment of this exact same problem. It happened with the Christmas one, and it happened once again with the regular one. I don't know why, but for me, Clover K's Felix looks so off. He just looks very sharp and lanky at the same time. And did I mention the yaoi hands? I mean, good for him and Sylvain, but like, damn! I really wish I could like this art. I love Felix, he's one of my favorite Three Houses characters. But this art is held back by many different factors. Heider by Yoshiko. This art isn't bad per se. Yeah, I think it's a bit boring, but overall it is good for the most part. The only reason I mention it is because I do not like Heider's design at all. Like, sure, I know she's a goddess and is supposed to look different, but I feel she just has too much. That thing on her forehead, the different colored eyes, the serpents all over her body, and the many different colors all at once. She's just not pleasant to my eyes at least. And since she was designed by Yoshiko themselves, yeah, I guess the only real bad thing about it is that the artist just made a design I really didn't like. Legendary Winnie Bear by Asatani Tomoyo. Now, I wanna make something clear! This art is actually great! Asatani Tomoyo is a fantastic artist and that is shown once again here. So what's my issue? This art kind of feels like a copy-paste from the previous Winnie Bear alt. It's like Asatani only added a cape, a crown, and called it a day. It's the same issue I have with their Erika Monopoly, in which almost all the Erikas look the same at first glance. I repeat, this art is actually great, but like, it's barely scraping the bottom of the barrel. It would have been nice if it didn't just look like Winnie Bear 1.2, you know what I'm saying? Diamant by Suekane Kumiko. I can't put my finger on what it is, but Diamant's face just bothers the hell out of me for some reason, I can't quite describe it. I don't know if it's the weird eyes, the facial expressions, how tiny his head is, or just how it twists during his attack art. I think the rest of the body and battle poses are alright, but there is just something that doesn't click right with me. Patty by Ankotaku. As the 1000th hero added to the game, Patty's inclusion was kind of a big celebration in some way. But she arrived and it's like, yeah, whatever. And I like Patty, in genealogy I use her quite a bit, but her art did not hit me in the slightest. For me, this is just another one of those generic moe faces that really want to look cute. But I think it just feels boring and generic. Rearm Lucina by Gesoking. This is an art I wish I could like more. The colors here are genuinely impressive. But the more I look at it, the worse it gets. Lucina's face feels off. It's like there's two art styles clashing here. One in the body and one in the face. It's so strange to look at. And the binding shield is so bad. Look at this perspective. There is no depth at all. It looks like it's made out of cardboard. It's like the Aries, just use a transform tool and call it a day. Also, I need to point out the obvious. Where are her pants? No, really, why is she like this? Is this a reference to Fates' female great knights? Or is it just trying too hard to add fan service? I don't know. All I can tell you is that I don't like it. Resplendent Gordon by Mecha. When I first looked at this art, I felt a sudden urge to punch it in the face, and then I realized, oh, okay, it was drawn by Mecha, that makes so much sense. For those who don't know, I'm not a big fan of Mecha. I don't think they're horrible by any means, they're fine, but my issue is that a lot of their character arts always feel samey without anything special about them. Gordon falls in that category once again. It's just so boring to look at. And of course, who can forget Mecha's copy-pasted damage arts of a few scratches, one eye closed, and the typical grrr expressions. Sorry if it sounds like I'm too harsh on these artists, but stick around and maybe, just maybe, I'll say something good about them when I get to the good arts. And finally, we have an art that has me super conflicted. Resplendent Ninian by Naruse Uroku. Okay, let me explain. I actually really like this art. It is miles, exponentially better than the Ninian drawn by Kipu. When Resplendent Ninian was announced, I got her right away, just so I don't have to look at the previous one ever again. This new Ninian is prettier, has better colors, and is much more pleasant to look at. She's so beautiful. So what's my issue with her? She's supposed to be a Resplendent. So they gave her an ice dragon, a theme about Nifl, the kingdom of ice. So the end result is literally just Ninian once again. When I look at this art, I don't say, oh yeah, that's Resplendent Ninian. I just say, yep, that sure is Ninian, but not ugly anymore. And it sucks because I really like it when Resplendent Heroes get very creative with unique themes. Imagine a Ninian from Muspel, that would have been awesome! But no, all we got here was the same dress with maybe one or two snowflakes thrown in. I do not blame the artists here at all. I believe this was most likely an order from Intelligent Systems. Again, I actually really like this art, it's very good. But come on guys, you definitely have much more imagination than that.
Alright, enough negativity. As you can see, many of these arts weren't horrible, technically speaking, but they just had a few things that made them stick out like a sore thumb to me. But remember, art is extremely subjective, so if you like these portraits to just talk about them, that's good, you keep doing that, who's stopping you? But now, let's move to what I consider the absolute best we got in 2023.
Kicking off things, we have Spring Bernadetta, done by newcomer artist Done Kanda. I spoke briefly about this art during my Christmas video, but I honestly think this art is very good. I love the colors and the facial expressions are awesome. Look at Bernadetta's face during her damaged portrait, that's a genuine emotion that fits her so well. But my favorite part about it is the hedgehog plushie she carries around, which is a reference to Winter Bernadetta that also has the same plushie, which is a reference to one of her lost items in Three Houses. I just love details like those. Young Hector by Hagiya Kaoru. I like the outfit design, the poses, the colors, everything about this art is amazing, I really like it. But you know what's my favorite part about this unit? The voice acting!
Elliewood's a close friend. He's also my rival. I like that he doesn't hold back.
You wanna know what's so good about it? This is still Patrick Seitz voicing Hector, but for a second I genuinely thought they gave Kid Hector a different voice actor to match his age. Cause see, when you take for example Keith Elliewood or Kid Ike, you can still tell their voices are just Yuri Lowenthal and Greg Chun respectively trying to make a kid's voice, which is okay. But Kid Hector's voice sounds so crazy different I couldn't tell it was Patrick Seitz until I read his name. That's some amazing range, honestly. It impressed me so much, I just had to bring that up on this video. Kid Rebecca by Pukionosuke. That name kinda sounds like a Monster Hunter monster now that I think about it. But anyway, under normal circumstances, this art wouldn't get mentioned here. I mean, it's still good, it's a great art, but what makes it so special is that it finally did justice to Rebecca! For the longest time, all she ever had was, without a doubt, the most horrendous art in all of Heroes. It was so bad that the artist still hasn't returned to this day. It was so awful that said reputation will follow her for years. So it was amazing that after all this time she finally got an alt that didn't just make her strong, but had real talent behind it. And it's funny because I don't really care that much about Rebecca in general, but the upgrade was so big it was worth celebrating. Also, can we talk about how her regular portrait closely resembles her official art from Blazing Blade? That's a nice touch. Fallen Byleth. Do I need to say it? Do I need to point out the obvious? Well, I will. This art was drawn by the amazing, the immaculate Hidari! What else can I say about it? Having the artist back in Heroes after so long felt like a miracle, and his work on Byleth did not disappoint in the slightest. I fell in love the instant I saw this art. It's another perfect masterpiece that oozes with talent in every corner. Easily one of my favorite heroes that released this year. I love Hidari so much, but I think that's obvious. Valentine Effie by Yasuo. It's not very often we get to see Effie without her bulky armor, but now that we do, damn, she looks stunning! This art was amazing in every aspect. It's very unique, the color palette stands out a lot, and it's just so damn pretty. And you know what? I'll be honest here. The Fates Valentine banner had some sweet art in general, but Effie was easily the best of them all. And you know what the best part about her was?
What do I owe you? Nothing. It's for free. Free?
Dorothy by Kawasumi. I'm mentioning this one because I actually don't like this artist. I don't know, there is just something about their art style that is so unappealing to me. Their only art I've ever liked before was Veloria, and that was it. But I don't know, there is something about Dorothy's art I genuinely like. It's so simple, yet it stands out a lot. It's so distinct from other pieces of art this artist has done. And yeah, it might not be the flashiest, the most detailed, or the coolest art out there, but I think this is one of those cases in which the simplicity is actually a very good thing. And hey, it fits Dorothy's character extremely well. It's like the perfect match for her, and that's pretty cool. Summer Chess by Newcomer Yamanokami and Summer Chess by Nishiki Areku. I don't know if this is my chess bias speaking here, but I adore these guys, they're amazing! But these arts are just so incredible to me. The instant I saw them I thought, yep, I'm summoning both of them, whatever it takes. Both arts have incredible colors, I like the designs of the swimsuits, both perfectly reflect Chess's personality, and did I need to point out both of them are fighting on surfboards? God, I love Chess so much! Or as I like to call them sometimes, Smush. Every year in Heroes, it's tradition that we always get 2 summer banners, and dare I say that the second one in 2023 is like one of my favorite summer banners in all of Heroes? We have Tharja by Mai Okuma, Ivy by Kobun, Fjorn by Maeshima Shigeki, and Ymir by Ichikawa Haru. Oh yeah, and Donald was also there, but he was just kinda thrown in there for free. But this banner's character selection was great, and it made up for a great theme. They were all women who had never been to the beach before, since they canonically live in snowlands, deserts, or even hell itself. So it was fun to see them react to the beach and be like, "Oh, I'm dying! Oh, it's so damn hot!" Even Tharja starts to hallucinate that Robin is there, it's pretty funny actually. And of course, all of these arts, at least for me, were beyond incredible. I miraculously managed to summon this entire banner because I love this art so much. I was surprised Kobun didn't over-sexualize Ivy like he always does. And Ymir's art is honestly one of the cutest in the entire game, it's so damn good. So yeah, overall this is one of my favorite summer banners in all of Heroes. Wind Tribe Kagero by Ekao. I just really love the colors, the poses are amazing, and it's just very appealing to look at. Think about it. This art was so good it actually made me want to summon Fate's characters. That speaks lengths of its quality. I mean, sure, I like Kagero, but this art was so amazing it actually made me say, wow, I'm summoning the obvious roommates. Okay, now let's take a small detour to talk about some resplendent arts that stood out to me this year. Resplendent Pala by newcomer Saine. Resplendent Cecilia once again by Ichikawa Haru. Resplendent Sigurd by Niji Hayashi. And Resplendent Nefeni by Yoshiro Ambe. See, here's the thing. All of these arts are amazing. Their characters I like a lot. The themes are very cool and interesting. And overall are just very solid. But if you ask me, the original arts of these characters were just as good. It's not a bad thing though. The stat boosts are always appreciated, and having the option between choosing two great pieces of art is very nice. But if you wanna talk about tremendous improvements, Resplendent Robin by Fujikawa Akira, and Resplendent Tiki by Sono Taida. God, these artists didn't just go above and beyond with these arts, but the way in which they improve upon the originals really deserves a medal. I already talked about how much I despise the original female Robin drawn by Ueda Yumehito. When your art is so bad it makes me dislike one of my favorite characters, you know you screwed up. But no, Fujikawa Akira improved so much that as soon as Resplendent Robin released I made her a +10 project and I've been using her so much. It also helps that Hell attires are usually the coolest. So yeah, that's a bonus too. As for Adult Tiki, I didn't dislike the original drawn by Ito Noisi, but come on, this one is just better in every single regard. And the best part about it is, this is just Adult Tiki with no strings attached, not being forced to wear the clothes of her younger self, not having to share the spotlight with her or Kanea incarnation. This is just Adult Tiki in a stunning original outfit. It's been a long time coming, but she finally got the justice she deserved. Halloween Kalambai. You're not gonna believe this! Mecha! What's this? A mecha drawing I actually like? Of course, even a broken clock is right twice a day. Halloween Kellam was so good that at first I thought an entirely different person drew him. His Halloween outfit is so unique, he's the first character in all these years to dress up like a pumpkin. The art is very colorful and so appealing. And this is one of the rare instances in which Mecha doesn't do the grrr expressions during the injured portrait. Also, the fact that his weapon is a rake is a nice reference to how he grew up in a farm. So, yep, consider me stunned. I really like this art. Oh, but we are not done with Halloween just yet. Halloween Chimera by newcomer Manabi Okada. Damn! Only one character so far, and this artist already did an amazing first impression. This art is colorful, is pretty, is fun, and very expressive. It's a perfect reflection of Chimera's entire character. I don't know what else to say. It was so good it made my jaw drop when I first saw it. I really hope that this artist returns in 2024 because damn, that's very good. Maisen by So Taro. This is a piece of art so crazy good that for a second I thought Hidari made it. It almost looks like it was taken straight out from Shadows of Valentia. But even if you move the Hidari bias aside, this art is still incredible however you look at it. I especially like how unique and different the attacking pose is. Is it practical? I don't know, I just think it looks cool and very different. Also, there is something about the injured portrait that goes extremely hard. It's so raw! Maisen was one of those units I ended up summoning because, on one hand, it was an accident. On the other, I was very happy because I like the character and I adore this art so much. Ginun Gagap by Ho. Remember that video I made a few months ago where I rank all of Heroes' OCs? One of my few regrets about that video is that I did not include Ginunga Gap there, because she could have easily made it into a decent tier. And you wanna know why? I love her design. It's so sick, I can't describe it. I mean, the art itself is very good, yeah, but it's the design alone that sells it to me. Even though you can tell it has female features, it can still pass as some sort of cosmic horror monster. It's so unique, creative, and even special too. I really hope that future Fire Emblem games keep attempting bizarre designs like this because they're always so good. Ginoga Gap's design deserves a special place alongside Duma's zombie dragon form and whatever the hell Ananko sees will transform. And finally, we have the most recent Christmas banner. These are usually my favorite ones, and this one did not disappoint in the slightest. Yeah, you can argue this is another Three Houses main characters banner. And Junaka. But considering Three Houses is one of my favorite games, oh my god, this Christmas event is so cool! All the arts are so amazing, I actually wanted to summon everyone! You got Dimitri by Argon, an artist that has always delivered constant bangers. Cloud by the amazing Niji Hayashi. Hell, I even think Junaka's art by Nekomochi is adorable. And I'm not even a huge Junaka fan like everyone else. But of course, my preference falls on Nadelgard, drawn by Tefish. An artist I have nothing but respect for. It's just the outfit, the colors, the facial expressions, everything about this art is incredible. I love it so much. And yet, even my Nadelgard bias loses against the Christmas Violets, drawn by Iori Suzuki. This art is gorgeous. It's adorable. It's immaculate! I am not exaggerating! The more I stare at it, the more I fall in love with it! I love how the Violet's robes are shaped like a Christmas tree, or how they carry a plushie of Sothis at all times, and how, during their special, they also pull out plushies of the house leaders. This art isn't just perfect on its own, it also explodes with fanservice. It's a Three Houses fan's dream become a reality, and a Smash Bros. Player worst nightmare. If Violet is happy, then they lose. But jokes aside, I am serious. When I tell you this art instantly became one of my absolute favorites in all of Heroes, like, period, I really mean it. It's right up there with Christmas Altina and another art I'll mention later. And yes, that means there is another section to check. We are done with individual arts, but it's time we look at what my favorite artists did this year. First, we have Shimomura Watari, which made Joffrey, and it's not very good. Like, it's not bad, but I think this is the most lacking work they've ever done. There is something about Joffrey's face that feels very off. It's like, it's Joffrey, but it's not Joffrey at the same time, if that makes sense. However, that does not apply to the other two characters. First, we have Goto, which looks incredible for an old guy. The color selection here makes him pop off very hard, and the perspective is crazy good. Look at his attack portraits, if you pay attention you can see he's walking towards his enemies, that's so raw! Goto is a character that didn't really need amazing art, but I'm glad Shimomura Watari did not slack off in the slightest here. And the other character they did was Murdoch! Murdoch is one of those secondary Fire Emblem antagonists I've always liked. In fact, I like him so much that's how I always name my Garchomps when I play a Pokemon game. So his inclusion in Heroes made me very happy. And now you tell me he's free, has a unique weapon with this encounter, and is being drawn by Shimomura Watari? Hell yeah! That's so good! This art highlights everything I like about Murdoch. It's cool, menacing, imposing, but still feels honorable to some degree. I only think his face during the special portrait looks a bit goofy, but other than that, Murdoch is another fantastic piece of art from this great artist. Now, we move to the god, Soeda Ippei. This year unfortunately only delivered one character, but I can't describe how happy he made me. Fargus. I played Blazing Blade so many times, and there's always a few thoughts that cross my mind in every playthrough. Oh, Layla is so cool, I wish she was oh, she's dead. Damn, Fargus is such an awesome character, I wish he could also be playable. And just like Layla, Fargus finally got the spotlight he deserved, and not just that, he was drawn by the amazing Soeda Ippei. I love this art so much. It has that distinct Ippei's art style, but also tells you all you need to know about Fargus. He's a hoary, good-natured pirate that you wouldn't want as an enemy. A well-deserved inclusion, made even better by one of my favorite artists. Now we have the amazing, the perfect Kita Senri, with legendary Lincia, legendary Hinoka, brave Soren, and ninja Sanaki. I mean, what can I add here? I praise Kita Senri to hell and back. Every single piece of art she does is more than perfect. And here, there is no exception. You have Elincia in a gorgeous dress, Soren in his Arc Sage clothes from Radiant Dawn, the potential big spoilers of Radiant Dawn by having Mikaya and Sanaki together. Hell, I even think Hinoka looks outstanding here, they're all so good. Kita Senri is one of those saris so perfect that they make me say, damn, Kita Senri, you're so good you almost make me like characters I don't like. Like Hinoka, your art just hits that different. Sachiko Wada returned once again to deliver 3 masterpieces, Inigo, Mark, and Brave Robin. I like Inigo a lot because he's my cool son, and his art did him a lot of justice. Mark because I genuinely never expected him to be put in the game, so that was a pleasant and funny surprise. But my absolute favorite work here was Brave Robin. Not just because Robin is one of my favorite Fire Emblem protagonists, but because he finally was done justice! I'm gonna be honest with you, I dislike most of male Robins art in Heroes. I despise the Robins drawn by Fujiwara Ryo, and the resplendent art was just as bad if you ask me. Okuma Yugo started terribly with the first Fallen Robin, and even though he got better, I'm still not a big fan of these saris. They're not awful, but their art style is just not my thing. And then Groom Robin, okay, he was a tremendous improvement, I actually really like this art. But his stats were so lame, so he sadly became a useless unit. But Brave Robin? No, everything is perfect. There's no grima, no different gender, it's just the male Robin I know and love. He looks insanely good, he is very strong, and was drawn by the excellent Sachiko Wada. The wait was so worth it for me. Rika Suzuki. This was a very good year for the artists, they delivered a lot of bangers. Flavia in a bright costume, Sigurd serving tea and sweets, Ursula with her massive cranium, these were all amazing. And yet, for as good as these arts are, they all pale in comparison to Rion Sonia. Oh my god! No, actually, what the hell? This is one of the most gorgeous arts I've seen in my entire life. It's so beautiful, it's so perfect, it's Sonia! It's Sonia! What else can I say after that? This goes beyond beautiful and gorgeous. I can't find the words to describe this art. The colors, the playful poses, the smug facial expressions. Is she blowing a kiss while casting magic during her special? Honestly, I can't imagine how Rika Suzuki will ever rival this. It's beyond incredible. And now, to finish this video, we have Daisuke Izuka. This has always been one of my favorite Fire Emblem artists. Ever since I knew him, I've always thought his art was excellent and could not get any better. Yet somehow, every year he manages to prove me wrong. And in 2023, he just went above and beyond with the villains he drew. He managed to make Validar look cool and menacing. How did he do that? I never once considered Validar to be awesome, but Daisuke Izuka made it possible. Now, look at Resplendent Surtur. Did he really need to add this much detail? All these fire effects and debris flying around? No, he didn't, but he did! And the end result was one of the coolest Resplendents ever made! And of course, I just can't exclude mentioning Fomortis. I just wanna ask, why did he have to go so hard? Oh my god, this art is amazing! Fomortis has always stood out to me for his incredible design, and Daisuke Izuka just nailed it! The full body shots, the perspectives, how imposing he is, how his body glows, how his horns and wings get torn apart when he's damaged. Also, is he changing poses between the attack and special portraits? Why did he have to go so hard? I love you so much for this! I don't know if Daisuke Izuka just adores Fomortis that much or got some insane head that day, but whatever the reason was, it made him draw one of the most impressive pieces of art not just in Heroes, but in all Fire Emblem in general.
So now tell me, what do you think? Are there any picks you disagree with? Which arts were your favorites or your most despised ones this year? Please let me know in the comments, and while you do that, Thank you so much for your time. I really hope you enjoyed the video. And you know the drill. If you could support the channel, you know, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, or Patreon, that will help me so much. Have a wonderful day and take care. I'll see you next time.